Good afternoon and welcome to the Sports Village here in Leigh. It's nice to be back home. It's nice to be back amongst friendly folk, having been on the gantry at Featherstone. And I'm Dave Parkinson and I'm alongside Joe Wood. Hello, Joe. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. And Chris Stott.
Hello.
Great to be alongside you guys again. So we've got a really interesting game. Is it a case of revenge for the Centurions this afternoon?
Well, as we spoke earlier, Dave, it's soon come round as Batley was the first game, and so we must have played everybody home and away. So now, as you say, repeat against Batley, and I suppose it is a revenge. I think it was a shock to the system, as I think Neil Dukes has said. Quite a few players was real shocked at the game, and as we didn't win over at Batley. So yeah, I could agree with you that it is a bit of revenge. John Keir always turns out a good team, no matter which level he's playing at or his team's playing at, because he's, as we said in our talk on Leigh Centurions TV day before, he's going to Pastures New, going over to Wakefield Trinity Wildcats. So John always turns a good team out. And going through the team, do you want me to go through the Batley team first?
Of course you can, Joe.
Starting number 22, Dave Scott, full back. Number 26, Alex Brown, who we know about, playing on one wing. Number 30 is Greg Minikin, and number 27 Callum Casey are both the centres. Number 5, the ex-Wigan player Sean Ainscourt, takes up the left wing, and the two half-backs are number 6 Kane Sutherwood and number 7 Dominic Brambarney, and the front row is number 8 Keegan Hurst, number 14 James Davey, and number 15 Sean Hesketh. Excuse me. And the back three are number 17 Joe Chandler, number 19 Alex Bretherton, and number 9 Luke Blake. And on the bench for Batley is number 20 Alice Salik, number 16 James Harrison, number 18 Tom Lillicrop, and number 28 Dave Peterson.
Couple of debuts in that lot. Callum Casey, once upon a time with Halifax, recently been playing for Hunslet. He's an Irish international. Greg Minikin comes in on dual contract terms from Castleford Tigers, having spent the last 2 or 3 seasons making his mark in League One with York City Knights. And Dave Peterson comes in, who's a former Bradford and Hull Kingston Rovers man. Chris, you've got the lead side, and do you want to go through it, mate?
Yeah, can do. Full back we have Lee Smith. On one wing we have Adam Higgs, and Liam Kay is on the other, with Richard Whiting and Tom Armstrong in the centres. Martin Ridyard and Rangi Chase are the half-back pairing, as it was last week, with Jake Emmett and Dane Weston as prop forwards, with Mickey Hyam starting at hooker. Ronnie Matuya and Gareth Hawke are in the second row, with Harrison Hansen packing down at loose forward. And on the bench we have Liam Hood, Sam Hopkins, Tom Spencer and Jamie Acton, who had a very impressive game last week. Hopefully he can perform similar attributes this week coming off the bench.
And our starting referee is Mr. Chris Campbell, with reserve ref Mr. Cromer, and touch judges Mr. Mark Love and Mr. Ansell. And this is where it goes on again. Match commissioner is Mr. Taberner, timekeeper Mr. Brown, and match assessor is Mr. Ollerton.
Oh, I remember Mr. Ollerton from years ago.
Yeah,
used to be a regular referee at games at Hilton Park, didn't he?
Yeah, he did indeed. He's based in Wigan. I think he's now retired, but he used to work at Wigan Hospital. So yeah, Mr. Ollerton, Mr. Brown and Mr. Taberner, all associated with my good self when I was playing. So they must be old men, because I'm an old man.
Both sides have emerged out onto the field. There's just the obligatory photos going on. Leigh being pictured with a young Leigh Miners team. Before we started this game, it was a case of the old foes combining and colliding as the under-9s went head-to-head with each other. You was keeping close tabs on that, wasn't you, Chris? Where did that finish?
It ended up with a Leigh Miners victory. It was a very close game. There was a couple of players who really caught the eye. One player for Miners had a striking resemblance to the Fijian forward Vuna Casey, who I remember had a great game against England in the World Cup. So hopefully we can see some good rugby this afternoon as Batley kick us off now.
They do. It's Dave Scott who kicks long. It's bounced up for Richard Whiting, who launches Gareth Hock into the first drive, and he pushes a couple of Batley defenders back, and he's eventually rolled to the turf 15 metres away from his own line. Hyams at dummy half and scoops it left to Dane Weston, who's been in real good form, and he's still going Dane. He's made 10, 12, 15 metres up to the 30. He'll play it in centre ground to Hyam, who sends it right to Gareth Hock, who takes another drive, and it's another 10 metres chalked off for the Centurions as they're heading towards halfway. They're on the 40 metre line. Now Jake Emmett runs forward, spins, twists, my man of the match last week, and held just inside his own half, plays it to Hyam. Hyam spots a gap, scoots forward, gets to the 40 inside the Batley half. Last tackle ruled here by our referee, Mr. Campbell. Ball is swept down the left hand side where Ridyard gets his first use of it. He puts a decent kick in, which goes into touch about 5 metres short of the try line, and that's a good first upset, that, isn't it?
Yeah, good finish off, and Dave Scott not interested in taking that ball. As you said, David, it ran out about 5 metres from this left hand corner flag. Just touching on that game, as Chris said before, Leigh Miners Rangers under 9s will now be playing at the Blackpool Bash. I spoke to one of our famous sons, not the John Woods, but young John Woods.
Young John Woods, yes.
And his son Noah was playing in that game for Leigh Miners Rangers. As Batley take the first drive, it's Alex Brown brings the first one away from the scrum.
And Batley still in possession. It's Dave Scott with the next carry up to the 20 metre line over on the left hand side. Davies in at dummy half, passes to his right hand side to pick up Keegan Hurst, and the big fella rolls his way forward just up beyond his own 30 metre line. He's 20 metres in from the left touch line. They go down that left touch line again, this time in the form of Hesketh. Hesketh makes the brick wall defence though. Whiting leading the way in that one. Into the middle it comes with Hurst again, and Leigh control him to the deck. 3-man challenge.
That's last tackle that, Dave, so they've not got too far, have they? Still inside their own half as
kick comes in from Sutherland. Half decent kick, but it bounces up fairly tamely in the end. Inside his own 30 metre line for Adam Higson, who carries a kick return forward and drags in 3 defenders as well. The early stages of this game going to be crucial as Raggy Chase chucks it left, looking for Armstrong, who tries to get between defenders, but they watched him closely there. He's 35 metres away from his own line over on this left hand side, and Reddy Matua takes a hit up, takes a high shot as well.
He seemed to look to the referee, Mr. Campbell. That's the first penalty we've gained. Not quite 3 minutes into this first period, just inside our half, and Mr. Campbell signals high shot, so Martin Ridyard will kick to this near side touchline where we are situated in the east stand, and we're roughly about 33 metres away from Batley line.
Hopefully via mixler.com/Leigh Centurions. We're coming through loud and clear today. We've had all kinds of issues the last couple of games, but apparently we're back and crystal clear. So Leigh, can they get crystal clarity on this attack, moving downfield through Weston to the 20 metre line? Hyam looks to his left hand side. He's got Chase standing to his right, but he ducks to the left and brings in Ridyard. Ridyard offloads. Lee Smith out to Armstrong. Scrappy pass from him, and Liam Kay goes into touch.
Yeah, I think Liam was undecided whether to try and catch the ball, but he actually got his foot to it, and the ball did trickle into this near side touch line. So the attack peters out, and Batley will form a scrum roughly 12 metres from their own line.
Great to hear from the O'Donnells, by the way. You were listening to us from Spain. Hope it's a lot warmer there than it is here at the Sports Village. We're probably struggling to get in double figures today, aren't we?
Yeah, I should think that, Dave. Oh, nearly then.
Yeah, it was really juggled in front of Callum Casey there. As I said, he's not used to playing out in the centres. He is more renowned as a second rower, but there's not much size to him, to be fair.
No, I was just looking at there, looking at the actual size of him. He's a pretty
there's a penalty lad coming up here for Batley. Wrestling with Sean Ainscough, the 2 Wigan lads combining there. It was Hock and Ainscough in the defensive duties.
I think it's a big game today for Batley as well as Leigh, because if you look, they're 4th in the league, but they've lost the last 3 coming into this to London, Oldham and Swinton, and you feel as though with Featherstone hot on the heels, and they need to put in a performance here against Leigh. Whereas Leigh, a win today, and if results go their way, they could be, especially if London beat Bradford, they could have quite a healthy lead over the Bulls going into the Bash in a few weeks. So this result could actually prove to be very pivotal come the end of the season.
Luke Blake has played the ball 40 metres from the Leigh line. It's juggled as it comes out right with Bretherton, but he keeps hold of it. 20 metres in from touch, plays it to Davey. Davey passes to his left to Hesketh, who takes on Reddy Matua and pushes Batley up to the 30 metre line, but they haven't gone too far in this set.
That's true. Good tackling though, David.
Brambani pumps it high. He's spinning end and end. It's a test of this one for Leigh Smith. Oh, he takes it with accomplished ease.
Mickey Iam had picked Brambani out, and he ran full speed at Brambani to try and limit his kicking chances, and Mr. Campbell very lenient then with the Batley defenders.
It was a very, very slow play the ball, wasn't it, with Batley players lying all over the top of the Leigh man.
We don't want to get talking about referees and slow play the balls, Dave, do we?
No. There's a penalty here for the Centurions, offside, Batley.
Do you think he's repaid that one because there was a couple of slow play the ball, so he's pinged them for offside?
Yeah, stranger things have happened, haven't they, Joe?
Yeah, but any referee who allows this slow play the ball is acting as a 14th man against Leigh, because they love the quick play the balls, and then we can play our not only expansive rugby, but even the basic rugby. When there's a slow play the ball, it just stops everything as we planned for. Jake Emma takes the first drive. Jake replaced Corey Patterson. I'm not quite sure that Corey failed his head test because he was severely concussed over at Featherstone last week, so he's not been included this week.
Leigh 10 metres in from touch on the right hand side, linking with Chase is Hyam, and there now is Hawk, but it was a forward pass from Chase, so once again it's a cheap set that they've coughed up early.
Yeah, and when we're in these kind of positions, Chris, you must think that any team in this kind of position needs to be playing the sets of 6, don't they?
Yeah, you feel as though when you're in a position against the side that's up there at the top of the table with you've just got to keep turning the screw and keep them down that end, get repeat sets, not come up with a couple of silly errors. We've seen a bad pass from Tom Armstrong, and we've seen a forward pass from Rangi Chase that's cost us decent field position. It gives it Batley opportunity to get back down the other end of the field.
That's just what they're doing through Davey, breaking from dummy half to get inside the Leigh half of the field, down centre ground. He plays it to Kane Southernwood, who passes left for Keegan Hurst, and the Leigh defence meets him head on, bashes him to the floor 32 metres away from the Leigh line. To the left it's with Southernwood again, onto Hesketh, can cause damage when he's running that wide, can Hesketh, but Leigh watch him on that occasion, and it's Richard Whiting doing the tackling, helped out by Dame Weston. To the right it's moved. Kane Southernwood dances past one player, gets his kick away. That's sailing out on the full by the looks. That's an awful kick, to be honest.
Yeah, it was a nothing kick at all, and give credit to Dane Weston. He'd made the tackle and then he shot away from acting half-back to hinder Southernwood, which is what he did, and we're going to restart on Leigh's 30 metre line when the ball finally gets back to Dane to play it. Mickey Iam acting half back. Jake Emmett takes the first drive.
Good drive from Jake as well. They always are. Very consistent forward. Leigh push it down the right hand side, and there's Harrison Hanson. First time we've mentioned him in commentary this afternoon, and it's a half that's 8 minutes old. Now Leigh trying to open play up, and they find a bit of space in the middle with Weston, but then 4 defenders crunch him just over the halfway line. Hyams at dummy half, pushes it right to Chase. Chase gets his kick away, pushes it into the corner, turns Dave Scott around, and he's found the touchline. That's a really sensible play from Leigh at the moment.
It's all about game management, Dave, isn't it? And Rangi Chase is a really experienced player, played New Zealand and England international, so somebody that's just run of the mill for him. He should be managing the game, him and Martin Ridyard, and probably with Rangi being on it gives Martin that bit more scope, bit more freedom to try and organise things in our back line. So Batley will scrum down 10 metres on their own line, their head and feed.
Meckie's joining us from London, and Jamie's joining us from Reykjavik.
Reykjavik.
Now we've got Toronto coming in, maybe we could get a team from Reykjavik started. What do you reckon?
He's probably the only person listening that's colder than we are, if he's listening from Iceland.
Oh no, he's listening in a geothermal pool.
Oh, he would be, wouldn't he?
Oh, that's only just found touch, is that kick?
Mr. Marlowe had to dodge that one.
To Batley. Was that Leigh offside? I think it was, wasn't it? But,
it was, yeah, and that's 2 penalties each apiece.
Each apiece. Keegan Hurst plays it on his own 40-metre line. Now Hesketh, one of the old breed of prop forwards, where he's got a bit of a beer gut on him. He'll play it on the halfway line. Ball put to the left-hand side through the hands of Southernwood. Dave Scott linking with the centre on that side, which is Casey. Casey wrestled down by Chase and Hanson. Batley up to the Leigh 40-metre line. Here's Keegan Hurst. Keegan Hurst just had to keep hold of that. He's thinking of smuggling the ball out and does. That was terrible play from him.
Yeah, and I think the referees give him a lucky escape there and told him to play the ball.
He put his half back, Kane Southernwood, under loads of pressure there with an offload. Brad Barney works it right. Here's Bretherton. Long-serving player in the heavy woolen area. Had a long stint with Batley as well.
No, this is Batley.
Dewsbury, sorry. It's put on the right-hand side with Davey. Davey kicking forward. His kick will bounce up in favour of Alex Brown, but Alex Brown is off the island, to climb one of your sayings, Joe. Yeah,
and just talking about Bram Barney, Dave, and Joel Chandler, I saw it in when I was researching that they've signed contracts, renewed contracts over at Batley, which is a good thing, because Bram Barney and James Davey are 2 players who's come over from Sheffield, aren't they?
Yeah.
And been done really well. And Pat Walker, he's not playing today though, Pat Walker.
He isn't. He's missed the last couple of games, to be honest, as Pat, but he's only 6 points short of 500 goals in his career. Leigh in possession, 12 metres from the own line. It's Liam Kay to play it to Chase, so he passes to his left hand side to Jake Emmett. Surely there was offside.
Well, it's just a 10 metres he's going back in. He's not giving us much breathing space at all.
Here's Weston, but he goes without the ball. That's a great
shot.
Tackle, which I thought it was a cracking tackle, to be honest. Batley playing on this 0 tackle. It's out on the right hand side with Brown, who kicks over, and it's collected inside his own in goal area here by Lee Smith, but it's back to where the original offence happened, so it's back on the 20-metre line and just beyond it with a scrum in favour of Batley. Good chance for them coming up, I feel, in this next set of 6.
Yeah,
what says you, Chris?
Yeah, I think they got a good opportunity here, but I like how they used that free play opportunity and tried to be a bit expansive there. You saw Bram Barney flick it out the back to Alex Brown and kick come in, but now you'd probably see them use the prop forwards after a drive coming in next from the fullback Scott, who I actually picked out as a player to watch today. He's a good fullback, still young, and he's got plenty that can cause danger for the Leigh defence.
Batley inside the Leigh 20-metre line. It's Keegan Hurst, plays it across to his right hand side to Luke Blake. Blake is held up 10 metres out from the line. It seems to be building in this set for the Bulldogs. It's moved right through Bram Barney out to Minikin. The Leigh defence grabs hold of him. That's good defence from Tom Armstrong. Scott darts into dummy half, picks up Bretherton on the charge. Great tackle, Mickey Hyam. 1-on-1, brings him down. 8 metres away from the try line. Last tackle signal. It goes through Bram Barney out on the left hand side to Kane Southernwood, who gets a little smart kick away. Higson does well to gather it in, and Higson stays in the field of play as well. Did really well there, and he's won a penalty for his team.
That's a great result there for Adam Higson. He read the danger well, got himself into a good position to read the kick, and he was urgent. He tried to generate a quick play of the ball so that Leigh could actually try and get away from that own line more quickly and potentially earn a penalty, and that's what he did. And now, instead of having to play a couple of drives from our own 10-metre area, we're now almost up to our own 30 and puts us in a much healthier position now.
Chase feeds it to the left, where Hawk just decides he'll angle back at the defence, which was coming at him. Always keen and eager to show his physicality, isn't he? But he's feeling the after effects of that as Leigh break down the middle. That was Martin Ridyard with a half break.
Yeah,
roles reversed, that wasn't it? Weston to Ridge.
It was, yeah.
Now Hyam scooting from dummy half to get inside the Batley half the field. He looks like
knocked
he knocked
on there. He did.
That was a cracking tackle which came his way by Bretherton.
They're up for this, aren't they, Batley?
They have
you can
to
tell in the defence, they're certainly putting the hits in.
Yeah, because you said Mickey's just got clattered there, lost the ball. Gareth Ox still feeling a bit groggy. And I saw Dane Weston, I think he got a bit of blood on, or a physio's trying to stem the blood from it. It's either his nose or his mouth. And it was Dane who lost the ball on that free play. He did get clattered. I think he had a word with Mr. Campbell, the referee. So, you know, they're picking some of our players out to try and ruffle the feathers, and up to now they are succeeding, because at this moment we're near enough 15 minutes in and the score is still Leigh Centurions 0, Batley Bulldogs 0 on Leigh Centurions TV.
And to be honest, there's not been any chances of note for the Centurions in decent field position, has there?
No, we as Chris said before, we had Tom Armstrong throwing the ball into touch, and Rangichase giving a forward pass, which was the only time we've been in the 20 metre zone of Batley's goalpost.
Batley just forcing the way inside the Leigh half of the field. It comes right through Kane Sutherland, who drops it back looking for the running of Keegan Hurst, who almost hops and skips his way forward a couple of metres there, despite the attentions
and he's knocked on
the legs of Hyam, and he's knocked on trying to play the ball. I think that was partly down to Gaz Hock coming in and roughing him up a little bit.
Yeah, I think he was partly caught by Jay Kemet, but as you said, Gaz Hock came in and made sure that we got possession by Keegan Hurst losing possession of the ball. So
is this the opportunity for Leigh now? 45 metres away from their own line as the lights are switched on here at the Leigh Sports Village. Tells you all you need to know. It's a murky day.
On the 1st of May.
Leigh moved the ball right from the base of the scrum. Here's Chase out the back to Lee Smith, who throws a dummy, half surges through the gap, still inside his own half of the field though. Higson passes left, picks up Harrison Hanson, good drive from Hanson, 10 metres gain there. Now they're inside the Batley half. Can they come up with anything? Higson runs for the middle from dummy half. It was an angled run. He's making good yards there, Higson.
Yeah, he did really well today, yeah.
Plays it just outside of the 30. He's put right, strangely enough, down his wing to Chase. Chase steps, goes again. He's held though, 25 metres away from the line.
I think he was looking for a high shot there. Mr. Campbell signalled it with shoulder.
Now Jay Kemet drives through the middle, inside that 20 metre line. They've reached the last tackle here though of late. Ridyard's out on the left, launches a kick, it's gone high, it's one to contest, and Alex Brown gets to it first of all. He was put under some good pressure there and handled it well.
He did, yeah, he did, as he didn't have such a good few games over at Leigh, did he? Unfortunately, he didn't fit in for one reason or another, did Alex?
I think his spell only lasted about 5 or 6 games, didn't it, from memory?
Yeah.
Leigh appealing for a penalty against Batley and Hesketh, but he's played that ball, and now they're scurrying into the 20 metre line in the form of Minikin. Still inside their own half though, as David works it right for Alex Brown. Leigh up on him quickly. Tom Armstrong, good defence, strong defence. Referee calling held, and he plays it on the 30 metre line. They've got many motion though of Batley. Southernwood dummies, then gets an offload away. Kick comes in from Bretherton. That was terrible again from Batley. Well, their end of set plays have been terrible so far.
Yeah, looking a bit really surprised there, Dave. He was about 2 or 3 metres from the touchline, and he didn't half give it one almighty hoof with his right foot, but a poor end. John Kay will be finger tapping up in his perch.
Nice to hear from Deb and Mark. They're listening to us from a beach in Portugal.
I'm just looking at that. Reading Mature played the ball. There was nobody acting half back.
Eventually Armstrong got there.
Yeah.
Leigh 30 metres away from the try line in centre field with Hyam, who passes right for Weston. Weston throws a dummy and surges on to get inside the 20, wrestles to his feet, he's been pushed over. That's another penalty Leigh's way. Do you make that 4-2 penalties?
I do, yeah. I wish I was laying on a beach in Portugal, Dave.
You mean it's not good enough for you sitting alongside me?
Oh, it is good, yeah, but I think I prefer I'd a line on a beach. I sat at a beachside cafe.
Leigh have tapped the penalty. Emmett's within 10 metres of the line. Here's Weston, throws a dummy and surges on again. He's got within 5 of the try line. Now there's a chance for Leigh. It's moved left through Hawk, who gets it moving to Ridyard. Ridyard over the top. Liam Casey space, and Liam Kay slides in at the corner. The Centurions have their opening score, and it comes 19 minutes into the game.
Yeah, Alex Brown woefully then came in off his wing, and Martin Ridyard looped the ball over, and Liam Kay slid from about 3 or 4 metres to make sure he wasn't going to get pushed into touch. And as we were just saying about Alex Brown, he didn't have such a good spell over at Leigh, and he's not having, up to now, not having such a good spell back at Leigh Sportsville. He's just over 19 minutes in. Chris, do you think that's the spur we needed?
Yeah, we didn't really create any opportunities up until then, and then as soon as Alex Brown steps inside, Ridyard sees that and he floats the ball out. We know he's got that in his locker, and as soon as the winger comes in like that, Liam Kay knows if he stays out wide that Ridyard's going to pick him out, and it does so, and it's an easy finish in the end. But yeah, it's the first real chance that we've had other than that one where Tom Armstrong couldn't quite feed it into Liam Kay early in the proceedings, but we finally got on the board, and hopefully we can continue this, because Batley had matched us up until that point.
Yeah, so Martin Ridyard, he's just about 12 inches away from the touchline there. Would you say? Have you got a ruler? So
but it's not that long.
Difficult kick for Martin, but with every confidence on the 2 points being added, and yes indeed the 2 points are added. So
that was a smashing goal.
Smashing kick, yeah, and it's Leigh Centurions 4, Batley Bulldogs 0. 20 minutes in, halfway through this first period. I'm just looking, Alex Brown looks as though he's limping slightly, so...
Well, he did take an almighty hit, to be honest, from Tom Armstrong, didn't he, a couple of minutes ago. It's actually 6 points still in favour of the Centurions. You said 4, Joe.
Oh, did I? Sorry.
Were we back in the old days of the 3-point try for a minute?
No.
Here's Hawk. Oh, he's lost the ball. He charged in headlong like a bull at the defence, and Batley playing with it on a 0 tackle play. Here's Hurst, runs into the 10-metre line and beyond. Chance here for Batley now.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Raggy Chase got a bang on his right shoulder there, so... penalty given for Dane Weston following in at the tackle.
Oh, there's Luke Blake, he's lost the ball. Try line in sight. Leigh playing with it in a 0 tackle play now. Over on the left, it's moved to Liam Kay, who steps all the way back in field. Still being wrestled down. There's no advantage here for the Leigh.
What a great read that was from Tom Armstrong, though. The passer come in to do the Luke Blake, who came on the angle, and it looked for all the world that he was going to go through, but Tom Armstrong spotted it at the last second and managed to get the hit just about right, so they managed to squeeze the ball out. So let off there for Leigh, but it's come about because some great defence there from Tom Armstrong. He's more renowned for ball in hand, but on defence he's proved his worth there.
Yeah, and everybody was raving that Gazok made a fantastic charge, but unfortunately lost the ball and put us under pressure. But Adam Hickson trying to relieve that pressure with a darting run from acting half back up to the 30-metre line.
Tell you what, he's played really well in the last couple of games, Adam Hickson. Really starting to find some form as Jake Emmett gets out to his own 40-metre line, plays it back to Hyam. He's sent left with Weston onto Ridyard. Ridyard half passes to his wing, but it comes off the hands of Alex Brown and goes into touch. So this will be a scrum head and feed to the Centurions inside their own half, but only just.
Yeah, Mr. Campbell signalling that Alex Brown did got his arm to it. Bit unfortunate then, because we created the outside for Liam Kay. Alex Brown, he's just not patrolling his touch line. He's given 2 or 3 metres inside, and I think Leigh have spotted that, but unfortunately got his arm to that. So scrum down, as Dave just said, just inside our half. Mickey Hyam feeds. Rangi Chase, who's off one of his darting runs. Leigh Smith round the back, looping round the back,
and gets inside the Batley half the field. Welcome as well to Lee Reynolds joining us, listening in from Sussex. And Gaz Hawk goes on another charge forward to get inside that 40-metre line. Batley doing the level best to try and slow the Centurions down, but Hyam runs, links with Ridyard. Ridyard is put down though by Minikin. Good read from the Castleford centre. On dual reg here. Weston to his left hand side. Emmett is there. Emmett, they eventually control him to the deck. David Lillycrop involved, so too Bretherton in the tackle. Leigh getting inside the 20 metre line with Chase, who double pumps it but loses the ball, and it's picked up by Blake, and Blake is upended.
Yeah, I think Rangers are a bit slow there to try and get the gap through, create it for Rennie Mature, and unfortunately that's another bad end to a set of 6 for us.
Dave Scott in possession for Batley. He's forced his way just outside the 20 metre line as Davey moves it left through Southernwood, and it's on that left hand side further, but some good defence by Whiting. Just clamped Callum Casey, had nowhere to go. Leigh again putting the numbers into the tackle, so this would be a slower play the ball. Southernwood down the left hand side. Forward pass is called. I think that was won by the East Stand, to be honest, all shouting at once.
No, this is the East Stand, that's the West
Stand. The West Stand.
You're close. You're close.
Getting my compass wrong.
Yeah. So Sam Hopkins just coming on. I think he just replaced Gazok. Has done a good 24 minutes there. Sam Hopkins again, as you said about Jake Emmett and Jamie Acton, who's yet to come off the bench. Sam Hopkins has been in tremendous try scoring at the moment, Dave, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's up to 10 tries for the season.
Yeah, I was going to say double figures.
Leigh go blind side. That's an awful pass though from Hyam.
That sort of typified the game so far, hasn't it? You know, the defence has been on point the vast majority of the time. Was the attacking plays sort of flattered to deceive at the moment? You know, uncharacteristic errors from both sides, and you know that's why the score's just 6-0. And we've seen a lot of scrums already in this opening 25 minutes or so.
Yeah, at least the scrums are in Batley's half. We don't like scrums being in our half. Was putting our line under pressure. So again, 3 men into the tackle on Batley's 30 metre line.
It's Alex Brown trying to clear his lines, but that's a good tackle again by Armstrong. He must be fed up with the sight of him.
Yeah, that's true.
Every time he's touched it so far, Armstrong's been there. Now Keegan Hurst does the old spin, twist and pirouette, but can't escape the clutches of Mickey Hyam, but he's won a penalty because Hyam was just clinging onto him.
Yeah, he had a second bite then, Mickey, didn't he? He's just asking Mr Campbell for his decision, but that's what it is. He pushed down, so he's been penalised, and Batley put the ball into the stand just below our commentary position. Good
kick from Brambani as well. 30 metres away from the try line, they go on the surge to Batley, and Lillycrop makes it towards that 20. He'll play it to Davey. They go to the right hand side with Bretherton. Bretherton wrestled to the deck by Armstrong. 15 metres away from the try line, Lillycrop takes on the defence and then offloads for Blake, who's almost over the top of Hyam, but Hyam managed to stick hold of his legs and he's hurt himself there as Blake.
Yeah, I think he's stretched because Mickey did have him by the ankles, didn't he? And it was just a one-man tackle. Mickey stopped him in full flow, and I think he's overstretched there. I don't know if he's back or not, I don't know, but he seemed to be holding his back there. Anyway, the referee, the physio gives a thumbs up. So the play of the ball will continue on Leigh's 10 metre line.
Davey will ship the ball left through Southernwood. He drops it over his shoulder, looking for Keegan Hurst as well. And Hurst is within 5 metres of the line. Underneath the shadow of the post, Davey goes and puts it right to Brambani, who kicks over the top looking for Brown. Liam Kay just got hands on it and pushed it dead.
Yeah, Brown he was stretching then, wasn't he? Was Liam? I think he was looking to try and catch it on the full, but it was just a bit out of his reach, so he just got one hand to it and palmed it over the dead ball line. And so Leigh Smith will restart with a dropout, Chris. Bit of pressure for Batley.
Yeah, and it's coming from Don Brambani. We know he has a great kicking game, both short and long. We've seen it in his days with Sheffield in particular. And he put a great kick in, and Liam Kay did really well to judge it well and knock it dead. Hopefully Leigh can restrict any momentum and stop Brambani pulling the strings for the Bulldogs now.
Bit of a mention here for Chris Hardman, who's listening in from sunny Poznan in Poland. As Batley go inside the 20 metre line again, Davey works it left with Southernwood. Southernwood out to Scott, charging through is Callum Casey, but he's held up. Good defence there from Chase and Higson, but they've got over on the play the ball. They've gone straight over from the play the ball. I think that's Ainscough who's managed to twist his way in.
Yeah, he is short of stature, isn't he, Sean Ainscough? he's not afraid of getting in where it hurts there, and he's come up with a full point reward. Bit of pressure there on Batley, and they've broke our line and scored 28.5 minutes into this first period.
Yeah, it's been a good response from the Bulldogs since they went behind. They built pressure. They got that repeat set from the Bombani kick, and they worked it well initially. The play before down that left-hand side, and it was good opportunism from Ainscough going over from dummy half. Spotted that there was an opportunity, and he used his, he may be short in stature, but he's got plenty upper body strength, and he used that to squirm his way over. And there's a big kick coming from Bombani. It's an easy one than Ridyard faced for the Centurions.
Can he strike his 12th goal of the season? He can. The flags are raised. It's 6-6 here at the Sports Village, heading towards the half-hour mark.
Yeah, and I can see Dane Weston just leaving the field. Jamie Acton, who's been really top class the last couple of games. He was outstanding over at Featherstone. He was never afraid to take the ball up, and he provided a try for Rangi Chase, didn't he? Created a gap and ran through, and Rangi Chase backed up. So Jamie's probably a bit unfortunate not in the starting 13, but as I say, it's a 17-man game, so on he comes, and let's hope he can get stuck into it.
Leigh go high with the restarts, coming down arrow-like to Brambani, who had to come a long way forward to collect it. And the Leigh defence collected him as well. 12 metres away from their own line, Batley pushing forward. It's 6-6 here. Dave Scott in possession for the Bulldogs, still in behind his own 20-metre line. That's a horrible play of the ball though, and as a result there's a knock on there from the young Scottish fullback.
Yeah, and I think Sam Hopkins, I think he's just dislocated either his finger or his thumb, and Hannah's just trying to get that back in if possible.
That's one of those where you said to him, don't look, don't look down,
Sam. Yeah, she's actually signalled for a doctor, so the team doctor's on it. I think he's going off, asking the doctor to pull it back. It looks like his little finger on his left hand.
While we've got a break, Bradford's 8-4 up at London.
Any other scores, Chris?
I'm scrolling through the Twitter as I speak, because BBC is that far behind that it's saying this is still 0-0. So it was 12-10 Halifax against Workington. That could have been 3 months ago for the way my
0-0's quite up to date.
Yeah. It's not up to date enough though, is it?
Not really. Anyway, Sam Hopkins is back in. It looks like his finger's been put back in by Hannah, our physio, or
Armstrong
the
is
doctor.
15 metres out from the try line.
Yep.
He'll play it to Ridyard, charging forward now is Emmett, who gets to the 10-metre line. Chance here for the Centurions if they can pick the right play. Acton goes, feeds it out to Rangi Chase, who finds Harrison Hanson charging back, almost unstoppable, and somehow Keegan has defended that play. To the left he's moving now with Ridyard. Ridyard double pumps it. It goes out to Armstrong. Ball's on the deck. There's plenty of players diving on.
No knock on, Alex Brown.
No, I don't think there was a knock on there from Batley. They're in possession now, 15 metres away from their own line, taking the time at the play of the ball. Bretherton being wrestled to the deck by 3 Leigh players. Alistair Leake on the field, he's a Cumbrian. Pops it to his left hand side, running infield is Brown. Brown to play it to Leake again, who takes on the defence. Tough tackle on him though. Jamie Acton and Rennie Matua. Blake at dummy half, pops it to his right hand side to Lillicrop, and they've crossed the halfway line of Batley now. Straightforward drives, it's took him a while to get here. It's the last tackle, it's out with Brambani. Brambani threads the kick through, into the corner it will go, and over the touchline too. Good kick.
Yeah, they were very compact around the play of the ball area. Then Batley just taking one drive away, just nothing flashy or classy, just basic. One play away from the acting half back, and then as you said, Brambani puts it 10 metres away from our line, making Leigh work from their own line. And
the Centurions have had to work so far in this game, haven't they? It's been a real slog.
Yeah, and as you said, Dave, it's 6 each apiece. 33 minutes into this first period, so he's come and set his stall out as John Keir. As Adam Higson takes the first drive away from the scrum. That's Liam Kay waiting. He'll probably scoot away for the next one, which he does.
He does. Finds some good yards as well before being controlled to the deck by 3 defenders. Over his own 20-metre line he's gone though. Hyam sends it right through Chase. Chase throws a dummy. The defence wasn't buying it though. 3 men have cut him down there. Good defence by Batley. Leigh just 35 metres out from their own line. Here's Hopkins, strong charge to get over his 40, plays it quickly as well to Chase. Chase kicks downfield. It's only as far as Dave Scott, but he's played it off the boot and he's got work to do. And he vaults over the top of Jamie Acton, who came for it. And Liam Hodd's out there now for the Centurions. That's his first action in dragging the fullback down to the floor. So Batley clearing the line, Leigh looking round, head on a swivel, puts to his right hand side to Lillycrop, takes a drive at the Leigh defence again. Matua and Armstrong combining, and Brown will get inside the Leigh half of the field, plays it very quickly as well. Bretherton in field to the charging Hesketh, who made some good yards there. He's got 35 metres away from the line. Last tackle signal. It's with Brambani. Brambani slips it out to Kane Sutherwood, who gets it out scrappily. It's been picked up by Blake, who gets it to the left hand side again. It goes through the hands of Callum Casey, and here's Ainscough on the last tackle. He's lost the ball, picked up by Rangi Chase. Chase passes to his left hand side. Here's Leigh Smith charging forward. Good run, Leigh Smith. He's still going, and he's reached the 40-metre line inside his own half. He'll play it 10 metres in from touch to Liam Kay, who takes a tumble, but still manages to regain his feet and launches Jake Emmett over the halfway line. Emmett will play it to Hood, who picks up Jamie Acton. Acton hops and skips his way forward. He's got 3 players on him. Leigh 40 metres away from the line. Hopkins running strong down the middle. That's a good drive, isn't it?
Yeah.
Got the legs pumping there, is Sam. Hood picks up Acton. Acton's broke inside the 20. He's set for the try line. He's offloaded. And here is Harrison Hansen. And there's no stopping Harrison Hansen there. But I feel Jamie Acton could have scored.
He could, but yeah, he was probably being unselfish and passed Harrison there. H, as everybody knows him. Great break, Jamie Acton. He came in behind the Acton halfback and veered over towards the right edge, and Harrison Hansen backing up, and still a couple of men on him. As you said, Dave, Jamie could have probably scored himself, but just before, 5 minutes before half time, which is just the score we needed. And as I said, Jamie Acton is in a rich vein of form at the moment, and not only try scorer but try provider.
Yeah, it was a very similar sort of run to the one he did last week, wasn't it? You know, he cut through the line and sort of arced his way around the defence to bring in a supporting runner, and yeah, he could have gone himself there, but you know, he's been unselfish. He got the try in the end, and you know, Harrison Hansen finished it off. But it's all about Jamie Acton. That, you know, like you say, he's in good form in the last couple of games in particular, and I think he's been this season. He's really shone for me. He's sort of stepped on from where he was last year, and he's becoming a really top player as Ridgard adds the extra 2 to extend Leigh's lead to 12 points to 6.
Yeah, and I think we've just changed our last core players. Tom Spencer just crept on just before that for Jake Emmett, and I can see Rangi Chases. Yeah, I think he was injured early on in a shoulder injury, but I don't know, he doesn't look so happy there as Mickey Hyams come back onto the field, so I'm just letting the announcer.
No, you're all right. These mics are top.
Oh,
they still carry on talking.
Right.
Yeah,
right. I've just been polite with Clive.
Chaser's actually going straight down the tunnel by the looks of things, so that doesn't look too good. But it's not too bad when somebody like Mickey, he's going to be playing out of position, but I'm sure he knows what he's doing. He's been there, done it, got the t-shirt. So I'd imagine that won't affect us too much.
Well, you know what I think will actually happen as Leigh knock on. as Leigh knock on, I think that Richard Whiting could actually move in and play a little bit of 6, to be honest, at this level.
You think so?
I do.
He has done it Super League level, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Richard, he's another one that's more than capable of doing it.
Well, yeah, Mickey stood outside in the.
Mickey could go loose forward, maybe.
Mickey's actually standing outside in the half-back position.
Here's Minikin from the base of the scrum, takes on the Leigh front row. I don't think that's recommended. Batley at 30 metres out from the line. Forward comes their runner, number 28, Dave Peterson. Plays it quickly though. And this is Leigh, gets away from 1, gets away from 2, he's still going. Liam Hood eventually gets on him. They're inside the 20 metre line again, our Batley Bulldogs. Ball put to the left hand side to Hesketh. Hesketh plays it off. Good movement from Batley. It goes out to Dave Scott, but another try saving tackle.
Good read that from Adam Higson. And came out of it and made sure he made the tackle.
Southernwood just drops it over his shoulder to Peterson. Ever an eager runner. Another one with really strong upper body. Gets it within 10 of the line. Plays it to Leigh. It's put to the right hand side to Brambani, who kicks over the top. Oh, and it's just gone dead. And there was a few nervous seconds there for the Centurions.
There was, yeah. As Liam Kay scoots away and quick play the ball to Adam Higson.
And Armstrong collecting the pass, and it's a high tackle on him. So Leigh have the 5th penalty job.
Yeah, that's 5-4, which is pretty good in the last few weeks. We've been virtually in double figures in the first period. So Mr. Campbell being, letting the game flow, which is what the referee should do. He's only there to officiate, not to constantly blow the whistle. He
is letting the game flow as well. I think it's credit to him at the moment as Ridyard picks up Spencer from the tap penalty. Leigh 35 metres away from the try line. It's been run through the middle through Hopkins. Half break. Gets to the 20. Just stopped by the 3rd man coming in and clamping him. Leigh feed it right with Hanson. Lovely short pass for Whiting. Whiting's inside the 10. Has a whole melee of Bulldogs players on his back there, and he'll play it 5 metres from the try line. It's moved left through Hyam. Hyam decides to scoot at the defence himself, and he's tackled 10 metres away from the line underneath the posts. Leigh leading by 12 points to 6. Play the ball to Hood. Hood pushing and forcing his way towards the try line. He's going to be held up. Last tackle signalled here. Hyam sends it right. Harrison Hanson called for it. Harrison Hanson's got over the line, but he is held up in goal, and it's going to be turnover possession.
Yeah, I think we got a bit lost there in our numbers. As you said, turnover possession is really impossible for Harrison to get through. That 2 or 3 men there are right on the back of the line, but it's not a bad place to give the ball away. 10 metres from Batley's line, and with gang tackle, three men into the Batley play, he's no chance of getting away. As that's the big number 10, as you said, Dave. Sean Hesketh. He's actually got number 15 on his back, hasn't he? But he is a big old-fashioned front rower.
Old-fashioned front rower. There's Lillycrop, one of the modern breed. Uses a bit of footwork when he gets to the line. And forward comes Peterson, another one who likes to pump the legs late. He's 35 metres away from his own line. Batley moving forward again through Lillycrop, who gets away from 2 and gets an offload. Here's Leak. Pops the ball over to the right hand side. It goes forward though. Alex Brown just couldn't skirt around the edge of the defence.
Yeah, unlucky there. It was a good break, did get a bit of a gap, but a woeful pass at the end there. Alex Brown couldn't really do nothing with it, and this judge on the east stand right below us had an easy decision to set to Mr. Campbell. The ball's gone forward, so we're in added time now, Dave. So with a scrum on Leigh's 40 metre line, nobody's rushing for this. I just think that somebody just signed the shoelace and Mr. Campbell's allowing. So it looks like the first half's going to end up with, at the moment, it's Leigh Centurions 12, Batley Bulldogs 6. How much added time we're playing in this first period is in the hands of Mr. Brown, the timekeeper.
Good run from Armstrong from the base of the scrum, picks up 5 or 6 metres. Hyam's a dummy half, tries to pinch a penalty, but it's not forthcoming. Plays it over the halfway to Hood, who sends it left looking for Acton. Good strong run from Acton. meets Lillicrop. The two of them are previous. He's put down the right hand side with Hyam, who drops it back looking for Harrison Hansen. That's a great run from Harrison Hansen to the edge of the 20 metre line. Hood goes from dummy half. He's running again. He's inside the 20. Lillicrop puts him to the floor. Hyam at dummy half, fires it left to Ridyard. Ridyard goes for the 1 point and strikes the drop goal just as the hooter sounds, and the Centurions go to the break with a 13-6 advantage. Your thoughts at the end of the half, Chris?
Well, I think that's a very smart play from Martin Ridyard to finish, get that extra point on the board. It's been a very nitty-gritty game. Defence is on top. There's not been too much flamboyant play with ball in hand. But it's a very even tussle that Leigh are just about edging at the minute, and I think deservedly so. I think they've just about shaded it.
Yeah, and I'll just finish off. Let's hope we can continue this 13.6 half-time lead, playing to the north stand as the Leigh players form a huddle and then all troop off to listen to Neil Dukes and his backroom staffs. I'll say criticism to a degree, and also there'll be quite a bit of praise from Neil. So join us in the second period. Leigh Centurions TV, Mixler.com. Thank you.
Well, hello and welcome back to second half coverage of this Kingstone Press Championship encounter between Leigh Centurions and the Batley Bulldogs, and at the moment it's Leigh who are gaining their revenge on a close loss against the Bulldogs suffered on the opening day of the season. But it's been anything but vintage, this game.
Well, that's true, Dave, and one thing we can be thankful for, there's no slope here at this pitch like there is at Mount Pleasant, Batley. So Leigh Centurions about to kick off. It seems ages since we saw a game here at the Sports Village, and Leigh playing to our favoured north stand as Martin Ridyard just waits Mr Campbell's say so, and away we go. And Joe Wood's trusty stopwatch is up and running,
and so it's the game. It's Hesketh with the first carry for Batley. 10 metres away from his own line. He's rattled to the floor by 3 players. Leading the way was Tom Spencer in defence. There's no re-emergence of Rangi Chase, by the way.
Yeah, I was just looking at that. Mick Iams actually stood outside Richard Whiting in this right edge here.
As Lillicrop comes down towards that right edge which Leigh defended. And Chris, what do you think will have been said at half-time by both coaches?
From Batley perspective, I think it's a case of they need to look a bit sharper in attack. They've only really created 1 or 2 opportunities, and it was a bit of an opportunist try that they got. For Neil Dukes, it was then complete the sets more, keep at it in defence and continue to force the errors like they have done here, and just continue to grind the result out.
It was another poor last tackle play, that wasn't it, by Batley. They got the numbers crunched and mixed up, and it ends up with Kane Sutherland coming up with quite an embarrassing error, to be honest, inside his own 30 metre line. Yeah,
we're a bit concerned that Liam Hood seems to have hurt his right shoulder, right arm then, and he was quick out of the blocks to stop Sutherland. So at the moment he's just having a minute out on this right edge, and McCann dropped into acting half back. Yeah, Hopkins taking a surge inside the 20 metre line. Hyam scoops it left to Ridyard. Back inside it goes to Lee Smith wearing number 40 jumper. That came off Rennie Matua. Hyam sends it right. Stepping run comes in from Martin Ridyard again. Full of confidence. It's really nice to see Martin taking the line on. 5 metres away from line of Leigh. It's moved right through Lee Smith. Short ball there. And there's Harrison Hansen. And there is his second try. Yeah, he loves coming on a short ball like that, does Harrison. And you say, good short ball off Lee Smith. Old fashioned short ball. No running around the outside or on the edges. Runs straight and hard. And straight over the try line for his second try, as Dave just said. 2 minutes and 10 seconds into this second period. Chris, just the start Neil Dukes would have asked for, and just the start John Keir wouldn't have asked for.
Yeah, and it all came from that mistake from Southernwood. Lee's capitalised on the mistake, and that's probably something else that Neil Dukes really wanted. You know, Batley have come up with errors, but Leigh haven't always capitalised on them. Certainly did there in Harrison Hansen. You know, from that sort of range, he's very dangerous. We saw it a couple of occasions against Swinton where he linked with Ben Reynolds and crashed over. He's hit another good line, and he's unstoppable from when he's hitting those sort of lines. It's going to take some great defence to stop him, and for Batley, they couldn't quite do that, and extends the lead now. And if he kicks this, we'll go to 19 points to 6, and it'll mean that we're in a 3-score lead, which will do us very nicely. And Richard obliges there. That's 19 points to 6 now to the Centurions.
And that's just what we needed, and Chris has said the conversion's gone over, make it 90 points to 6, and everybody up here on the east stand, they're breaking the gloves and the bob caps out because it's cold here, colder than an ice cream man's paddle.
Colder than an ice cream man's paddle.
Yeah,
you know, I've not heard sayings like that in years, Joe.
Well, that's why I'm the old guy who's sat up here, because I know all the old sayings.
Anyway, that's a drive in from Tom Spencer, and Jamie Acton's taking the next one in, and Leigh are already up to their own 30 metre line. Good driving run still from Jamie Acton, pumping the legs, continuing his good form as Liam Hood seems to have recovered from his shoulder injuries. Richard White has gone through the line from a short ball, and he's passed the Batley defence, and he's into the half. He's got an offload away to Liam Hood.
Yeah, Sam Hopkins provided that short ball. Good old-fashioned short ball play, and we're certainly capitalising on it.
Ridge's got it down the right, and Whiting's through again. And again he gets it away to Harrison Hansen this time.
He's on hat-trick here, is H.
And he runs laterally across the field, and he's in front of the post, just 10 metres away from the Batley line now. Leigh on top. Hopkins shows and goes, steps off the left. He bowls the ball out, and it almost knocked on by Smith. It came off his foot, says the referee. It's out to Higson now. Higson steps in off his right. Good run from Adam Higson. He's still going. Hansen. Oh, Mickey Hines put it down.
He'll be really annoyed on that, will Mickey? Harlem Globetrotter style then. We're running from right to left, left to right, and unfortunately Mickey knocked on. Poor end to that.
Of all the people as well, you were expecting Mickey to gather that one.
Exactly, but a bit of champagne rugby there from Leigh Centurions to warm the cockles of everybody in the North Stand, and certainly warm the cockles of us four sat up here. Well, 3 and Kieran standing.
How good was that run of Adam Higson's? He must have been about 4 players then with stepping.
I think as well, he could have potentially gone alone. I think he just wanted to create the try of the century there.
Yeah, he certainly did. He certainly did. So Batley trying the damnedest to get away from their own line. Lillycrop doesn't have to take a battering then.
Yeah, he gets it to the Batley 30. Hansen gets up from the tackle slowly, but he seems alright as Batley come down the left hand side with Hesketh.
I think he's feeling that one too.
Oof, that's a good shot.
And I felt that one off
Joe Chandler, met by 2, and he's been forced back.
That was Jamie Acton at his best then.
He won't be running into that channel again for a while. Will Chandler is Bram Barney, kicks the ball from deep inside his own half.
Just a desperation kick that, Chris, wasn't it?
Yeah, and Liam Kay is there to field it, and he runs it back with interest. He can't beat the upcoming Batley defence though. He's hauled to the ground by 3. Leigh coming from their own 30 metre line now with Armstrong, who can't make any more headway. Kay's back in a dummy half trying to scoot and create something, but Minikin was all over him. 10 metres inside their own half still Leigh, as Smith goes from dummy half himself, pops it out to Hopkins, who gets past halfway, but a call from this near side has adjudged that pass forward by Smith.
I think it was, and Mr. Marlow, the touch judge on this side, and Richard White and Adam Higson and Mickey I am having a word with him, but yeah, I think it was just forward. I think it was with Lee Smith running and actually trying to create that gap, and the ball just did drift forward.
So 19-6 it is here, with the head and feed of this scrum to Batley. We take possession through Brambani. He puts it out right to Dave Scott. He's controlled by 3 Leigh players in the defensive duties, though.
Didn't he used to play at Doncaster there?
He did, yeah. He's also played for Hull, Kingston Rovers and Featherstone as well. So you get full player history when you ask me a question like that, Joe.
Unbelievable knowledge, Mr. Parkinson.
Here's Bretherton, tried his hardest this afternoon, gets inside the Leigh half the field over on that right hand side. Leigh from dummy half picks up Brambani. Now this is Keegan Hurst, but he's going nowhere. That's good defence from Leigh, isn't it, Chris?
Yeah, they met him.
Yeah, no, that's what we need to front the big man up and stop the offloads, because he's got a dangerous offload game, and it's restricting the momentum, because they're just going to have to hoist it high with Brambani. And it's coming down. Nobody wanted it really. Always popped up kindly for them.
Here's Casey, threads it through with a kick again. Whiting's there to watch it, and he puts the ball dead in goal, so it's going to be a drop out from under the posts.
Yeah, a bit of pressure off Batley then, and ended up with Harrison Hanson on the wing, and he stopped Sean Ainscough. I think he's shaking his head a bit, Ainscough, as he's running back, but a bit of pressure from Batley, so I think it'll be Leigh Smith who'll not be in any rush to get this ball back into play with a dropout. And in fact, Mr. Campbell has held his hands aloft to signal to Tony Brown, the timekeeper, I'm stopping the clock.
Tell you what, Tony's had some roles in rugby league as well, hasn't he?
He has.
Been around many years. As the dropout reaches the halfway line on the bounce, Kane Sullivan plays it and puts it to his right hand side to Keegan Hurst, who's wrapped up by 3 defenders. Still made a few metres forward though, did Keegan Hurst. Mind you, he could fall over and nearly make 10 metres.
Yeah, he could.
Huge.
He could.
Here's
That's good running off of Tom Lillicrop.
Yeah, he's played pretty well, hasn't he, Lillicrop? Now Hurst to his left hand side. Scott offloads. There's Southernwood, hauled down on the 10 metre line by Mickey Hyam. Good attack this from Batley. They're going to go in as well. There is Leak. He ran from dummy half, and it was a leaky defence that he found.
Oh, well done, Dave. Yeah, it certainly was. I think it was Jamie Action who shot away, expecting the ball to be shipped out right, and he just dropped into that gap. Mickey Hyam couldn't hold, couldn't stop the leak getting over, could he? Couldn't prevent the leak in the dam in Leigh's try line.
Let's hope it's not busted.
Mike busted. Or Mike Fly.
These Backstreet Boys from Batley. Take that, they said to the Centurions.
I don't know where you get these from, Dave.
I certainly don't either. Some people say he's a shadow of his former self. We're just killing time while Dominic Brambani lines this attempted conversion up.
He does usually take a while, thank goodness.
He does, yeah. Not long enough to get rid of us anyway. So with this conversion, it'll put it 19 points to 12. So Batley are then back in the game. Fingers crossed we can go back to the other end of the North Stand and extend our lead. But at the moment on Leigh Centurions TV, it's Leigh Centurions 19, Batley Bulldogs 10. All that has come from this forward pass here, hasn't it? Just inside Batley's half, and they've had a bit of pressure, got a repeat set out to us. And I can see Gareth Hawke, he's going to replace Harrison Hanson, so he'll be dropping into the second row on this side.
It was a case of two errors. The one from Mickey Hyam and that forward pass that has sort of halted our momentum, and it's given Batley a bit as they almost. It was Brambani who had to stretch for that kick, and Lillicrop fires himself back at the Leigh defence. Brown now's going to try and get Batley out of their end zone. He can't get past the tackles of Acton and Hopkins. They come inside now with Peterson. Did he have a loan spell at Sheffield last season, Peterson?
He did. They actually signed him at the start of this season, but he hasn't featured.
Well, that's where he's come from then, and as Keegan Hurst gets it to the Batley 40, Leigh restricting the Bulldogs at the moment as Lillicrop gets it off to Hurst.
He spoke too soon. That was.
I know. Commentator's curse. And Leigh has come up with a mistake there. It came off his foot initially, and then I think he's touched it with his hands as he tried to pick it up. So it's an error there. Hopefully, as I said, the Leigh errors had halted our momentum. Hopefully that's halted any growing Batley momentum and gives Leigh an opportunity to attack from the halfway line now.
Yeah, I can see Adam Hickson dropping into the standoff position, so he's going to take the first drive from this scrum. McCann's going to feed, and I think Liam Hood's in the loose forward position. He'll pass to Adam Hickson, who goes slightly lateral and then straightens up off his left foot. And a quick play of the ball, and it's Tom Armstrong. He having another scoot, trying to get out to his left wing, to his wing partner Liam Kay. Liam Hood drops in, and it's Martin Ridyard to Sam Hopkins.
Good surge from big Sam Hopkins towards the 20-metre line. Leigh in the middle of the field. Hood's at dummy half. He pops it to the right-hand side to Hyam. Hyam scoots. Hyam still going, flicks it out the back to Whiting. Whiting steps two defenders, steps back inside, looks for an offload. It's not forthcoming. Decided better against it then and plays it 10 metres from the line. Leigh go down the blind side. Gashawk tries to stretch for the line. He's lost the ball, and it's a knock-on from the big fella.
Yeah, that's two. One in the first half and this one there in the second half. He won't be very pleased with that, Gaz, but I think that was a wrong option play going down the blind side. We should have gone open. We probably had numbers outside and could have profited from that, but instead it's a scrum on the Batley 10 metre line. Batley's head and feed, so they've got a bit of respite there from that attack. It's been very stop-start, hasn't it?
Yeah, the second half in particular, it's not, other than the Leigh trying that amazing bit of play that we had, there's not been a lot of rugby being strung together. It's been punctuated by errors. He's now got a penalty against the Centurions against Matuya, and this gives Batley an opportunity to get further down the field. Although they've not made a lot of metres with that kick, but it's an extra 10 that they don't have to make with the feet anyway.
Oh, like that, Keegan Hurst, he tried everything in his power there to avoid running at Gashawk, who made himself as big as he in the tackle.
Yeah, and he's having a quick word with him and passing then, Gaz, and probably saying I get your pint after Keegan.
Southernwood down the right hand side.
And just looking, we're 14 and a half minutes in, and that's the first penalty which has been awarded to Batley, and a knock on.
That was James Harrison who took that ball in, son of Cal.
The Rhino, one-time Batley coach, one-time Halifax coach, and agent, probably half of the Leigh team at the moment. Yeah, he was the assistant coach at Bradford after Batley, wasn't he? His brother's the commercial manager, Paul, over at Batley.
His brother's the CEO at Batley, actually. It's a real family affair there.
It's a family affair.
Oh, no, don't. You'll have people switching off in droves, Joe. Either that or the rugby, but...
Yeah.
Leigh in possession 40 metres away from the line. Can they conjure something up in this next 6 tackles? Hawk takes a drive. Good yards from him. Carries 3 players with him, 2 to the 30 metre line. Hood works dummy half. Runs left, links with Ridyard. Ridyard out to Smith, who dodges away from one and gets it out to Liam Kay on the wing, who's forced to step back inside. Oh, he's opened up for Liam Kay. He's running a bit freer, but controlled to the deck by 2 defenders, which clattered him.
Again, terribly slow, Dave.
Ridyard passes back looking for Spencer to charge, and he gets inside the 20. Hood works it left to Ridyard. Ridyard's got an inside runner. It's Jamie Acton. Acton's inside the 10 and he's held up 5 metres out. Last tackle signal. Here's Liam Hood diving for the line. He's got there. The North Stand celebrates as one. And Liam Hood has his try to celebrate as well, which stretches the Centurions' lead to 23 points to 12.
All that came from a couple of quick play the balls, and Liam just spun away from Jamie Acton's quick play of the ball, and 4 points added to Leigh's score. Roughly 10 metres to the left hand upright, so hopefully Martin Ridyard can make the 4 points into a 6 and push us even further away from Batley. And we're, as I said, 16 and a half minutes in, and up to now we've only had 1 penalty, which is pleasing for everybody, from the spectators to us up here and certainly to the coaching staff.
It was a smart play from Liam Hood. Well, we've seen it a couple of occasions. I remember Neil Duke said after his first game for the club that maybe he needed to run a little bit more. He's certainly done that since then. He's scored a similar try a couple of weeks ago against Swinton, and he's got one there where he's just picked it up from dummy half and just gone, backed himself, and he's got over. Ridyard's made it a 6-pointer as well, so we're back up to 25-12.
Yeah, and Dane Weston just returned, replacing Tom Spencer. Spencer's had a good spell on the field there. Just normal hard work from Tom Spencer, nothing fancy, just takes the ball up and does his tackling. So Dane Weston probably a bit more fancy. He's replaced him as the ball goes deep to Richard Whiting, who passes to Jamie Acton, who runs. Thought he was going to smack him as he was running then. Right into the out of 3 forwards.
So Liam Hood gets it into Dane Weston, who's just come back on the field, and he makes some inroads to get Leigh to just shy of their own 30. Hopkins now would look to maybe get an arm free as Lee Smith was on his left shoulder. Hood continues to pass it left to Weston, who gets Leigh up to halfway. He's been halted by 3. Peterson's still lying on top of him. It's a slow play of the ball again. The North Stand not liking that. As Hopkins poked his head through, gets the ball away. Acton picks it up off the deck, gets to the inside the Batley half. 30 metres away now. Ridyard hoists it high. It's a real high hanging kick. Scott's underneath it, and he's took it brilliantly inside his own in goal as well. So he's going to run to the 20 and he's going to tap it, and straight on the counter attack of the Bulldogs.
Yeah, but Sam Hopkins was aware of that quick play of the ball. Alex Brown comes in, trying to take a relieving drive for his forwards. Sam and Jamie Acton again making the tackle complete. Tom Armstrong does exactly the same there as Batley go down their right edge.
Yeah, they're coming up down centre field now. They've got to the halfway line. Midway through this set, Brambani takes it right. He feigned the pass and tried to dart through the line, but couldn't really get anywhere. Hopkins wraps him up alongside Matoya. Sutherland dabs it through and it bounces out on the far side of the field, just 15 metres from the Leigh line, so it's going to be a Leigh head and feed.
I think Dave's got some scores updates.
Yeah, I was having a look at the other games taking place in the Championship this afternoon while we've got a short stoppage in play. It's currently Halifax taking on Workington, and it's Halifax 30, Workington 16. London Broncos taking on Bradford. It's London 14, Bradford 14. Oldham have the front against Featherstone by 10 points to 6, and over at Swinton trail Whitehaven by 22 points to 26 with an hour gone.
Safe to say those results are looking good for the Centurions, with Featherstone losing and London and Bradford holding each other, and with Leigh in front here, they can open up a bit of a gap at the top of the table. Higson takes on the defence, and also Batley will be keeping half an eye on the Featherstone result as well, because they've got them breathing down the necks for the 4th spot.
Higson's won a smart penalty there. He just kept going and kept going.
His legs kept moving, didn't they, all the time, and Jake Emmett just replaced Sam Hopkins as the ball comes into our stand, literally into our stand, just short of the halfway line. Mickey and quick tap. Jake Emmett, as usual, takes one drive in.
No nonsense there from Jake. Mickey Hyam comes right to Gareth Hawks, short ball to Richard White, and again he pokes his head through the line and he got his hands free, just didn't quite have the support with him. Hood to Emmett, long out ball to Acton, who straightens things up. Powerful surge from the prop forward. Hyam can't make any more inroads. They're 10 metres out now, the Centurions. Hood comes left to Richard, he sweeps it out to Armstrong. Armstrong ducks inside one, ducks inside another, shrugs off a third tackle, he shrugged off a fourth, he's got the ball away to Liam Kay. He puts boot to ball, it comes off the Batley defender. Lee Smith has it now.
Is this back to on there, Chris? Did he signal then, Mr. Campbell?
He didn't signal, no, he's still on
so
the
saying the ball
now.
played the man, last tackle here.
Ridyard, crossfield kick looking for Adam Higson, but Ainscough is going to collect that on his in-goal area. So they're going to go to the 20-metre line. Dealt with that well, did Ainscough, with the bigger Adam Higson breathing down his net there. And he gets 10 metres from the tap. Oh, he's got it away. There's Ainscough to Leak, who brings in the other winger, Brown, who gets it past the Batley 40 now.
They need to take a few chances, don't they, really, Batley? And take a few opportunities.
Luke Blake was sniffing one out there. He's got past the halfway line on that right-hand side. Harrison takes it to the Leigh defence now. Can't get through the challenges of Tuya and Hyam. Brambani comes left to Southernwood. Southernwood links with the fullback now. Brotherton comes it back on the inside to Keegan Hurst, who straightens things up. He gets it away. Certainly trying to be a bit more adventurous now at Batley. Come all the way to Casey now from a long ball from Southernwood, but he's wrapped up.
Fantastic red line there on Leigh defence. Fantastic. Not a blip anywhere.
Hurst takes a settler now. Looks as though they're lining up for a kit with Southernwood now. He chips it through the defence. Brambani's after it. Liam Kay has to come all the way over from his wing to boot it out.
And there's a real horrible collision there. Lee Smith into the advertising hoardings. I remember Paul Rowley having this conversation with Simon Toon about 12-18 months ago, because they put these more hard standing surroundings
barriers in,
after what happened at the Widnes semi-final, didn't they, a couple of years ago. And Paul Rowley at the time said it was an accident waiting to happen if somebody slid off the field, and that's exactly what's happened there. And he's took an almighty knock, to be honest, as Lee Smith being patched up as we speak. So everybody just gets a minute there as they hopefully Lee can recover from that collision with the advertising holding. Paul Wood's just round the back there, just trying to encourage and just give a few tips. I've name checked the wrong player there as well. It's Armstrong.
Tom Armstrong. Yeah, I wasn't going to cross you there, but
thanks, Kieran.
I knew it weren't Lee Smith. Anyway, Lee Smith does restart. And number 40 on his shirt. It's the 4 you saw there. What confused you?
I'm not even going to say anything about it. It's just one of them mistakes that happens. Batley with the hands on the ball again, 30 metres away from the Leigh line. It's charged forward by Blake towards that 20 metre line, but Leigh controlling. There's 3 in the tackle, which slows it down sufficiently. Davey to his right hand side to pick up some more strong running from the Bulldogs and Joe Chandler. Blake plays it left. There's Scott, rattled to the floor by Acton. Davey passes to his right hand side to Chandler, but Chandler's held up off before the line by Rennie Matua. Last tackle signal here for the Bulldogs. It's put left through Brambani. Brambani threads it through. It's a good kick and it's a try. Bretherton has dived on it ahead of the Leigh defenders, and that has put the Bulldogs back in this game again at 25 points to 16.
It certainly has, and with 2 or 3 defenders around there, I think it was all you get it, I'll get it, you get it, I'll get it. And as you say, Bretherton got his hand down and grounded the ball sufficiently for Mr. Campbell to award the try, which 25 points to 12, 25 points to 16, 25-18 if he kicks this goal, Dave. So in fact, we're just waiting for the ball to be kicked back in field there, and he should be successful with this, should Brambani. So they're not going away, Batley Bulldogs. 25 minutes in, and at the moment it's 25 points to 16 for Leigh Centurions, with an attempted conversion to come. So Paul Wood again is bringing messages on. And this again, Dave and Chris, it's an 80-minute game. We seem to have gone off the boil. We're not completing, we're not doing the right things. You know, we took a foot off the gas, or eye off the ball, whichever way you want to say it. Worrying time for Leigh Centurions at the moment.
Yeah, we seem to be having 5 minutes on, 5 minutes off, and that's not the consistency that Neil Dukes will be wanting. As Brambani keeps up his consistency with the boot, adds his third, that's 25-18. So Leigh have a 7-point lead, a try, and Martin Ridyard's drop goal the difference at the moment.
Yeah, so we're going to have to regroup and try and get back to playing some basic rugby, and just try and get some more points on the board, even when we can get nearer to Batley's line and be a bit more decisive in our play. So Mr. Campbell, just make sure everybody's on side as Martin Ridyard skies the ball. And And Bram Barney just...
Yeah, that's two. He's had a bit of difficulty taking as Jamie Hatton tries to flatten the on-charging Batley man, but totally missed. They're coming up now to the 20-metre line at Batley. It was Peterson underneath that one. Keegan Hurst taking in the next one. Doesn't make too many metres. He's wrapped up by 3. He always seems to attract 2 or 3 men, does Keegan Hurst, and I think that's purely down to his
size.
Huge size, isn't it? And he was on the shoulder of Davey there, who takes it on himself, gets to within 5 metres of the halfway line before he's shut down by Jamie Acton. Bram Barney puts boot to ball, slips in the process, but he goes all the way to Adam Higson on this near side for the Centurions. He runs across the field, does Adam. When he's got the ball away, it's always been given as a knock on as well, and that's a big error from Adam Higson. He should have just kept that in his breadbasket. And Batley are going to have a scrum 30 metres away from the Centurions line, and they're gaining a bit of momentum again in this game, Joe.
Yeah, they are for sure. And as you said, why do you not just keep it in the breadbasket? First tackle, I was going to say, Chris, once you'd finish your initial statement, then first time we've had the ball for ages, and now we've given it away and put ourselves under pressure. And just can't believe it from a player. It's not as though he's a young kid, he's an experienced player. Anyway, they restarted the Batley, so they've certainly got the wind in the sails.
Davey on it. Hurst again. Hurst driving the legs. He's 10 metres away from the Leigh line now. Leigh trying to slow it down as much as they can in a legal fashion. Southernwood back on the inside to Scott. He's wrapped up by Gareth Hawke. Davey back in on possession with number 17 Joe Chandler, who's 5 metres away from the Leigh line now. Sweeps it out, does Davey to Southernwood. Southernwood to Bram Barney, who's stuck through the line, and he's gone through, and he's got to score. And Batley are right back in this now. He's under the post, so they could be within 1. All of a sudden, this game has changed on a sixpence.
Well, this is where they play the game for 80 minutes comes into it. It seems to me that we're doing exactly the same, committing our carry, Dave, as we did in the first game of the season. We seem to have it all stitched up at Batley, and then we allowed them back in, and they scored right at the death. And they're way away from the death here. As Chris has just said, it's going to be 25-24. How important was that drop goal from Martin Ridyard just before half time? I can see Harrison Hanson's coming back onto the field for Jamie Acton. He's going to have to try and instill some, I don't know what, just calm down, and that's come from Adam Higson.
It's some leadership, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's what Leigh are lacking at the moment. A bit of leadership out there. But fair play to Bram Barney, because he got that and he just turned back inside and really shot off his foot, didn't he? And straight through the gap he went.
Yeah, it was a real quick step, wasn't it? And it just jinked his way through, and he's added the extras. So, like I said, Batley are all of a sudden back within a point of the Centurions. The North Stands urging on the home side now. Big set coming up now.
Certainly is. We've certainly switched off, and we've another 10 minutes on my stopwatch, so we could be looking 12-13 minutes to play, and they're certainly on the upper. We need to hunt a mistake. That kick again, right on the try line.
And I tell you what, his foot was very close to going over the dead ball line.
Yeah. Oh, it's a knock on there. It's a penalty, sorry. It's turned into a penalty for Batley Bulldogs.
I was just going to say we've only had 2 penalties, Dave, and Mr. Campbell's been very gratuitous there to the Batley team. So they're piggybacking up the field again, aren't they? This set of 6 are going to be in Leigh's half, so we can't afford another mistake.
There goes Harrison with the first drive of this set towards his own 40-metre line. He'll play it to Davey, who turns it inside.
I was going to say that was a forward pass.
Keegan Hurst controlled by 3. Rolled over on his back. That'll slow the ball down just a little bit. Here's Blake working in midfield off Bram Barney's pass. Had a good game this afternoon as Luke Blake. Next is Keegan Hurst to take the drive, and he puts Leigh on the back foot inside their own half of the field. Davies at dummy half and puts it left to Kane Southernwood, who picks up Chandler, who's controlled by 2. Last tackle is signalled. Batley are 35 metres away from the line. Kane Southernwood goes to the air. It's a high hanging kick. Who's underneath that one? Well, Southernwood tries to get under it. palms it, but only into the thankful arms of Whiting, who's linked with Tom Armstrong, who tries to go around the man. He's spinning in the tackle. He's still inside his own 20-metre line.
Yeah, it was a bit disjointed. It was, wasn't it?
That was an awful play of the ball.
Oh, and he's given us a penalty. Unbelievable.
Jeez, Leigh are lucky with that one. Real lucky. That looked like a knock-on to me.
So it's been deemed that they interfered with the ball being played, hasn't it? So, like you said, a let off for Leigh. So Martin Ridyard kicks to the west stand and puts it 40 metres on our 40-metre line.
Leigh 25, Batley 24 into the last 10 minutes. Centurions in possession and driving towards the halfway line through Jake Emmett.
I think that's the sort of set we need. More of those from Jake Emmett. Just some settlers to get down this end and then just force a repeat set. Just anything to keep the ball away from Batley.
Here's Ridyard trying to work a bit of magic in midfield, but he can't twinkle toes his way past anybody. He's 30 metres away from the line. Hyam at dummy half pops it right to Weston, who plays it off to Gareth Hock. Hock runs to the 20-metre line. He's held there by 4 Bulldogs defenders as the North Stand strikes into action. Hyam comes left, the ball's gone loose. It's been picked up by Batley and Minikin, who's on the edge of his 20-metre line. Chance go on begging there. Here's Dave Scott, slips out the pass, and that's Luke Blake with the surge forward. I said did really well there as the ball switched to the right hand side to James Harrison, pending in the tackle.
Struggling to get back now, the Centurions. The last few play the balls have been really quick from Batley. We need to slow them down as much as possible. That's a great hit coming in from Dane Weston though.
On Lillycrop, just to slow Batley down ever so slightly. Blake comes forward again. Inside the Leigh 40-metre line go Batley now with Davey. Davey's off on a run, taking on all comers, and he's tackled 30 metres from the try line over on the right hand side of the field. Last tackle signal, they use the blind side again. Here's Brad Barney, slipped the net. Brad Barney's inside the 20. He's got Harrison, and Harrison goes over. The Bulldogs have scored. The Bulldogs have hit the front.
Well, it's looking that the Bulldogs are going to do the double over us, this Leigh Centurions team there, because we're just so much being cut wide open. We're certainly at 6 and 7s. You're talking about leadership, and unfortunately that's come from a mistake from Mickey Hyam trying to kick on the last play, and they've gone down within 6 tackles and they've scored. Chris, you actually said about let's play some basic rugby, and Mickey Hyam got stuck there with the ball. Unbelievable set, and Batley have come up with an even more unbelievable set by scoring. Did you say it was James Harrison, son of Carl?
But what about Brad Barney again in that play?
He's been absolutely outstanding today for me. He's been one of the best players on the park. Especially this second half, he's just took the game by the scruff of the neck. He's come up with 2 telling moments, try for himself and want to create there, and he went from one end of the field to the other in a set, and he's going to add the extras now, Brad Barney, and it's 30-25, but with it only being a 5-point ball game, a converted score for Leigh still wins it. So there's how long's left, Joe?
5 minutes.
This time should get one opportunity, but we can't afford to give any field position away now. We need to keep them as far down here as humanly possible.
Yeah, Alex Brown took that one right on the try line as Sam Watkins has just replaced René Matua, and we've got to push and try and get a mistake out of Batley, not allow them quick and decisive play the balls, which is still what we're doing. We're so quick at the play the ball, we're not setting our defence or anything. Let's slow it down like Batley's been doing. That's a bit better on that play of the ball. But they've certainly got the momentum of Batley, and they're up to their 40-metre line.
Yeah, they're on 40-metre line now, and it's a slow play the ball. James Davey gets it eventually, and they're up to halfway now on the last tackle are the Batley Bulldogs. What they're going to do on the last, they're going to kick it with Davey from dummy half. Smith scampers across to keep it in, and he takes on the line now, and he's been smashed there really by the upcoming defence. It was Harrison, the latest try scorer, who was up there to confront him. Liam Kay is being pushed back in the challenge as well now. They're inside their own 20 still. The Centurions as Liam Hood tries to create something from his dummy half. And he's won a penalty. That's great play from Liam Hood. Wins the penalty on his own 30.
Yeah, and the North Stand trying to lift everybody. It's
a great touch finder as well.
Touch finder from Martin Redyard. Yeah, Mickey Iams waited to play the ball. Quick play the ball. Quick restart. Jake Emmett takes one.
Jake Emmett trundles it forward another 10 yards. 30 metres away now, the Centurions, as we're in the final few minutes of this game. Gareth Hock tries to create something down the left. They're within 20 now. Richard Hopkins lines it up. 10 metres out now, Leigh. Huge noise coming from the North Stand. Weston. Oh, it's a loose ball from Dane Westwood. It's a knock on by Batley. It's pinned up by Smith. Smith chips it over for himself.
Yes.
Smith scores.
Yes, I'll give that.
Brilliant from Leigh Smith if he's given. And it is. Great bit of ingenuity from Leigh Smith. And Leigh have managed to get themselves back in striking distance to take the lead again. Oh, it didn't look so promising when Dane Weston's ball went to ground.
Yeah, it was.
But then a knock on has let us off there.
Yeah, Batley must be really kicking themselves. As you say, a woeful pass off Dane Weston. But thankfully, Leigh Smith's come up with ingenious play there. Chipped it over, fancied his chances, and got the Batley defenders was half asleep. So we're depending on Martin Redyard to have the 2 points. My mate Dave Park is having a minute. He's sat back, he's put his mic down, he can't get his breath or anything. He was cheering behind me.
I was celebrating with the North Stand.
Celebrating with the North Stand, even though there was no voice coming out. He was just in the silent movie mode.
Some people have said that'll be an improvement. So Martin Redyard, often the most dependable man on the field with regards his kicking. I don't even want to watch as he steps up, strikes it, right footed, it's between the posts. The Centurions are in front. It's 31 points to Leigh, 30 to Batley Bulldogs.
Yeah, and we're in the 39th minute on Joe Wood's stopwatch, but it's Tony Brown's stopwatch what we're hoping and praying that...
Hopefully it's in sync with yours.
Yeah, so do I. So what will Batley come up with a short kick-off, or will they kick it long? No, they kicked it long.
They do go long with Scott.
Leigh Smith takes that one, so we've just got to play a sets of 6 here now. Jake Emmett, who's reliable as ever, takes that one in.
Yeah, we need another 4 of those.
We do.
Dane West. Oh, it's a great ball to Richard Whiting, who's through the line. Whiting gets past the 40. It was a slight stumble with the ankle tap that halted his momentum as Mickey Hyam goes from dummy half. Weston inflicts it over the top to Armstrong. Armstrong steps inside. Still going to Tom Armstrong. Gets it away to Hood. Oh, he looked as though he's wrapped up, but he's wriggled away. They're only 15 metres away, the Centurions. Hyam. Gareth Hock still. He's 2 metres away. Hyam. Richard to Hopkins. Hopkins crosses over. Hopkins seals it. From one end of the field to the other. Starting with a great ball from Weston. It's been finished by Sam Hopkins. Phew.
And just before we sum up, Dave, and before the full-time hooter goes, and hopefully Martin Redyard will add this 2 point, I'm going to give you the man of the match.
Oh yes, the Memorial man of the match.
You might say he's made a couple of mistakes, but for the game time he's been on, I'm going to give it to the club captain, Mickey Hyam. Because he's improvised as stand-off or scrum half, and he's done many minutes for that. So I think he was only off the field about 5 minutes before Rangi had to leave. So for his effort and the game time, even though he has come up with a couple of errors, which I'll pick him up about next time I see him, but Mickey Hyam is my Tommy Sale man of the match. As Martin Redyard, right in front of the post, attempts this conversion. In fact, Mr. Campbell stopped the clock for some reason, but anyway, who cares? Martin gives the 2 points, makes that a 6-pointer, pushes us further away from Batley, and we are in the timekeeping hands of Mr. Tony Brown, because Joe Wood's stopwatch has gone past the 40-minute mark.
And just looking around the league, there's some interesting scores coming through. We've got London Broncos 24, Bradford 16. We've got Oldham 16, Featherstone 14, Swinton 28, Whitehaven 26.
It's a short kick-off taken by Richard Whiting. I think he's had another excellent game as well as Whiting. Made some telling breaks. Hanson has come up with 2 big tries as well today. He's got the last action of the game as the Leigh Centurions have managed to resurrect this. They were 30 points to 25 down with less than 5 minutes to play, and 2 late tries from Smith and Hopkins have won it.
Yeah, I certainly think we played our get out of the jail card there, Dave. 3,389 the crowd, and Harrison Hanson then was the man of the match for the sponsors. But I'll let you quickly run through the scorers and your summary on the game, Dave.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was a game that kind of never fizzled really in the first half. Too many mistakes, but Leigh found themselves 6 points to the good in the 19th minute when Liam Kay went in. The Batley Bulldogs hit back after 28 minutes when Ainscough twisted over from dummy half for his 4th try of the season. That was converted for 6-all. Then, after Jamie Acton charged his way through, he offloaded for Harrison Hanson to score his 1st try. That was converted by Martin Ridyard with 5 minutes to go till half-time at 12-6. A drop goal right on the stroke of half-time by Martin Ridyard made it the off point. It was 13-6 at half-time, and Leigh made a really good start to the second half when Harrison Hanson charged over after 2 minutes. Back came the Batley side though when Adam Leake ran through from dummy half from 10 metres. That was goal by Bram Barney for 19-12. But Leigh again stretched the advantage out when Hood darted through from dummy half himself, and Ridyard converted for 25-12. Back again came Batley after 65 minutes when Bretherton dived on Brambarney's clever kick. That was converted by Brambarney for 25-18 before Brambarney's quick step took him through the Leigh line, and he converted to close the gap down to 1 point. The Bulldogs then hit the front with a super try from James Harrison, and we thought that the Bulldogs were going to go on and win it like they did in the opening day, but 2 late tries from the Centurions. First of all, it was Smith with a chip and chase, and then Hopkins going over near the end. Both converted by Martin Ridyard. It's finished here 37 points to Leigh, 30 points to Batley.